What is up, guys? Welcome back to the $1,000,000 challenge, where I start off with $1 and I'm working my way up to $1,000,000. Today we got some bonuses before we hop into some gameplay, so I'm going to show those on screen real quick. Alright, so this one is a continuation from the last episode. I got this bonus where it pays out over a couple days. So for the following day here, I got $5 in casino credits on FanDuel, and I throw that on Fly X, which is like a crash type game at a 1.01x. And we just do that to lock in $5 of easy profit. And then for the next day here, I got another $5 for the same bonus, but it's for the next day. So do the same exact thing on the same game, $5 at a 1.01x, and luckily that cashes out. So we got $10 right there. Pretty nice addition to the bankroll. So let's go back to the sheet and start some gambling. Alright, so looking at our bankroll, we're sitting on day 286 of this challenge. We're sitting at $2,034. The balance did go up a little bit. I also added a new column, and I will explain this in a second. But our balance is at $2,034. From the last episode, we were at $1,994. So we got like $40 since the last episode. Part of that is from the bonus that I just showed, and then Bitcoin went up a lot too since the last episode, but then it drops. The thing's been going crazy. Bitcoin's been going up and down a ton, so it does mess with the balance. Yeah, from there we got a couple sports betting. Looks like sports betting dropped, so we got some that went up, pretty flat otherwise. But yes, some bonuses. Bitcoin went up, and then this column here, I added this futures column. So this was a suggestion from somebody. They said that I should include the futures bets in the bankroll. So if I place a futures bet on an event that's going to happen, typically I consider a futures bet like over a month, or like at least like 2 weeks maybe. If it's not happening like over the weekend type of thing, I consider that like a futures bet. So I don't count those in the bankroll just because they're locked up into a bet. So like if I have a Super Bowl bet, for example, that's not until February. So that money's locked up, and I can't access that money until the bet either hits, or if it doesn't hit, the bet loses, and I just don't get that money back. So I don't include that in the bankroll because I can't move that money around. I don't have access to it. But technically it is like kind of still part of the bankroll, somebody was saying in one of the comments, and he said I should track the futures bets. So what I'm doing is I started tracking the futures bets I have between Fanatics, FanDuel, DraftKings, and Bet Online. But I'm not actually counting this as part of this balance here. So this column that's like highlighted in purple, it's simply just tracking our futures bets that I have placed. And these have been placed like throughout the entire challenge pretty much. There's some that go out for like a year almost. Based on the guy I track, or I tail, Volume Bets, I have his link in my Discord if you want to go to his page. But I basically just like tail all of his bets. So if he places a futures bet, I place it, but I take it as like a loss from the bankroll for the tracking purposes. So like I said, these are just kind of like a visual representation of futures bets that are like, they are part of the bankroll, but I'm not counting them for our 1% a day profit goal. So I'm gonna probably update that like once a week. If there's anything added or anything that like gets settled, like a settled bet, I'll take it out of there and stuff. So I'm not going to keep up on that like a ton, but it's just there for visual representation that there is a little bit more. It is technically still like kind of part of the bankroll, but that's enough talking. Our 1% profit goal for day 286 is going to be $20.34, and our stop loss is going to be 2%, so it's going to be half of this, and it'll be about $40. Also, what we're doing is going back to my original strategies from the beginning of the challenge, trying to get a win streak like this. Trying to copy these strategies to get a crazy win streak like that. Hasn't been working out too well recently, but hopefully today it switches around and it's a little bit nicer to us. But we're going back to day 22, which was episode 6 of the challenge. So let's hop into the website and start gambling. Okay, hopping into the website, we'll be copying day 22 of the challenge. And again, I play with a 4% bankroll, and now I'm doing 2% of the bankroll, so it's kind of a little bit riskier, the sense of copying the same strategies. But what the game plan is our typical dice strategy, where I'm trying to roll over 25 or under 20 or under 75, with a 75% win chance. I'm gonna bet 1% of the bankroll. That's our first bet. If that hits, I'm gonna half it and try to get 2 wins on half that size. So it'd be 0.5%, and then we just go for the rest from there. So, yeah, I don't have enough to double up. So if I lose this first bet, I might just call it a day, be down 1%. I don't know, we'll see. But from the last episode, these are still up here, the numbers that hit. And you can't see it. I know my face cam's blocking these last two, but it was 79, 71, 87, 92, 81. So these were all super high. The last 5 bets were all up here. So I'm rolling under. And we're gonna go for one hit here. Or 2 hits, sorry. We're gonna go for 2 hits. And it loses. Oh my gosh. I thought we had 5 bets up here, so it was like guaranteed to, not guaranteed, but I thought we had a very good chance to be low. All right, let's try it again. Oh my gosh, dude. This, we just busted, obviously. This bet on here is a 75% win chance. It is hit over 75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in the last 7 bets. It's disgusting. All right. Well, we lost that day. We're going to move on to the next day and just keep pushing. All right, so day 286 was another loss. We went down 2% of the bankroll. We lost $40.56. Moving on to day 287, we're sitting at $2,030. So pretty much the same balance. Let's see what happened here. So Bitcoin went up like $4, and then DraftKings went up like 13. FanDuel, massive boost there. We had some big bets placed. And then we also had that $5 bonus added that I showed in the beginning. And then Fanatics went down $7, but overall, yeah, we went up like $40 that day. So our 1% profit goal is pretty much the same exact thing. We're going for $20.30, and then half of our 4% here, our 2% stop loss would be like $40.50. All right, coming back into the website. This was a strategy that viewers submitted a very long time ago. I ran this recently and it worked out pretty good. I think I won recently running the strategy. What I'm going to do is I'm using a quarter of our profit goal. So our profit goal is $20.30. So I'm using 25% of that, which is $5.08. What I'm going to be doing is going for a 3x, and every time we lose, we increase the bet size by 1.5. So it's a manual strategy, but it could take a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. Try to do safer bets here. So I'm going to go over a 2, over a 3. Okay, we're going to skip the 9. I'm trying to see our total profit. Okay, I want to keep an eye on that. This has to be a 3x. Let's go for over a 3. And we're going to skip that. We're at a 1.5x, not too bad. Just looking for like high cards or low cards. So kind of play it safe. We'll go for higher than a 2. And we're at 1.6x. We still have a lot of work to do. Go for lower than a queen. Skip that. Skip. Higher than a 2. And we get the ace. Okay, so we're going to increase this by 1.5. So our $5.08 will now be $7.62. Okay, same thing. Now, again, I'm only using 2% of bankroll for a stop loss, so we don't have a ton to work with here. We can't get a ton of losses. But did I just go for higher or the same on that? I think I did. Yeah, I did on accident. And luckily it was a jack. I wasn't even paying attention, so I was talking. That's why I try not to talk too much when I play. We're going to cash that out. And that is $9 over the profit goal. Whew, got super lucky on that. Very lucky on that. We got very bad luck on dice, so luckily we got some good luck on high-low. We're going to take that profit all day. We needed that big time. I'm going to enter that in the sheet, and then we'll move on to the third and final day of the episode. All right, so day 287 was a win. We got $29.15. I'm very grateful that I was not paying attention and it still worked out. Going for higher than a jack, and it was a jack. So that was a very big come up. We'll take that all day. Moving on to day 288. Our balance is at $2,046. We got some sports betting that went up. We got $6 in Fanatics. We got we went down $5 in FanDuel, so pretty much break even there. $10 in DraftKings we went up. So we went up about like $10 in sports betting, but then Bitcoin dropped down $25 in one day there. So balance is still pretty much at that same mark throughout the video so far. I'm hoping we can get a win here. If we get a win here, we will pretty much break even on the day with gambling. If we get a loss here, will be another negative episode. So let's hop into the website and try to get that 1% profit goal, which is $20.46, and our stop loss would be like $40.50. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's our goal, $20.46. Okay, so copying day 24 of the challenge originally, what I'm doing is I'm doing a proportional bet size. So this is based on our entire bankroll. So I'm doing $4.12. It's proportional to what I did in the original video on day 24. We have our 2% stop loss up here. What I'm doing here, this was another viewer suggested strategy that I'm copying from way back when, but it's 3 mines on mines, and we gotta go for 4 clicks. And if we lose, we double up. And it should be a 1.71x. So even a double up, it won't bring us fully back, but every time we get a win, we'll bring it back down to base bet. So don't have a ton of room to double up since we only have 2% of the stop loss. Originally I was playing with 4%, but looking to go for less games, bigger bet size, right? We're not trying to play a ton of games, even though with this bet size, 1.7x, we're gonna have to play a decent amount of games. But the more you play, the more you're gonna lose. As we're seeing recently, we've been getting smoked on a lot of games. So let's just get this started. Go for 4 clicks, which is a little bit, it's like medium risk, it's a little bit riskier than usual. Okay, we'll take that. So that's gonna be $2.93 in profit on the cash out there. So we do need to get like 10 wins on that bet size. That is a lot, now that I think about it. I really don't want to increase it that much though. We'll see. We'll just stick with what we're supposed to be doing here. See if we can just get lucky and get a bunch of wins. I mean, we were all around those bombs. That's pretty nuts. Yeah, we'll stick with it. It gives us room to double up. I do like kind of having that in the background, just the idea that we can double up, but I really don't want to have to double up if we don't need to. But just knowing that if I get one loss and it wipes me, I don't really like playing like that, which a lot of these strategies are like that. But, there's our first bomb. Okay, we're gonna double this up to $8.24. Go for 4 clicks. Now, if we get another loss here, it's gonna hurt. Man, that hurts. Hurts. All right, now we're up to a $16 bet, where I think if we lose this one, yeah, we won't be able to double up. So, gotta get a win here. This is massive. There's 1, there's 2, and there's the final bomb there. Got $20 to work with. I don't really know if I want to mess around with that. I'm thinking, man. Should I go for the 1% profit goal? Should I just cut the loss? I feel like we've been cutting our losses so much recently, like shorter than usual, at like 1%, 2%. But at the same time, I feel like we're cutting more losses than getting that 1% profit goal with not having the 4% stop loss to give us enough room to count. I mean, that's why I lowered the stop loss to 2% instead of 4%, because when I got down to like 2% down, I wouldn't be able to come back. All right, you know what? The challenge is meant for risk, right? We're supposed to take risk. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run it back. Gotta take some risk to get profit. We can't just like tap out all the time, which I'm probably gonna get a loss here after just saying that. But we're gonna try to get some profit. So we're gonna go for 4 clicks. If we get a loss here, we'll just take the L for the day. We gotta at least try. We've been taking so many losses recently. I gotta at least try for it. Gotta at least try for it. Need one more. Can we get this, please? Okay. Okay. Not totally out. Not totally out. Looks like it's just not updating. So we just definitely cache that. Right? Why is it saying live stats are updated? I think it just has to come in. Give me a second. Maybe I just have to wait for it. All right, we're back. It just took a second to load. So we're down $8 still. I'm going to drop the bet in half back to $8 and try to not do a $16 bet again. Pick random. Okay. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay. All right. We're still down. We're still down money. I think I'm just going to change the strategy. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this. We'll do one more bet. We'll do it one more time. This will get us into profit. We hit this. If we lose this, we'll be down $10. Because we got to get a lot of wins. Because I got to technically get this back to the base bet still at $4. And I think this is just too much. Too much play. It's too much play. Let's see if we can get this. That we lost it. All right, so we're down $10. I'm going to stop for a second and probably hop into a different strategy. All right, so I'm opted in. Called an audible. This is kind of nuts. I feel like it's kind of crazy. I'm gonna do a $30 blackjack hand, just one hand. If we hit it, we'll hit our profit goal of $20. If we lose it, we hit our 2% stop loss. We'll just play it like that, right? So let's do $30. Let's just lock in. Let's rip it. Instead, I don't want to play too much. I feel like, you know, the less you play, better chances you have of winning. But yeah, it's gonna be really good or really bad. And I just don't want to be here sitting playing for too long. And I don't know. I feel like some people were mentioning I should play live games more than originals. Okay. The 4 caught me off guard, man. Please give me a 10. Just give me a 10, man. This could be massive. I mean, 13 against a 6. Just double checking that. It is a stand. It is a stand. Okay. That could have been crazy. That could have been nuts. But we'll hopefully still come out with a win. Oh, I got an eyelash in my eye. Okay. And I'm covering the live stats so I can't see because it does update before she flips her hand. So I'm covering the live stats on my end just so I don't know. Because it does suck when you see the live stats dip and then, oh, she got 17. Dang it, man. I was trying to hype that up. Man, we've been getting toasted. All right, I'm gonna enter this in the sheet and we'll wrap up the video. And yeah, that'll be it. All right, so day 288 was another L. We took another loss, man. I don't even know. I don't know what to say, but we went down $40.68. We lost a total gambling today. Out of 3 days of gambling, we are down $52 gambling on the website. On the total video, or out of the bankroll in the entire video, we only went down $28. So as you can see from the past handful of videos, we've been getting massive L's on the website, but everything else in the background is still helping us out. Bitcoin has been pretty flat overall, honestly, for like these past 20 days, but it's still, you know, holding the balance there, pretty steady, pretty strong. I like that. But the bonuses and sports betting has been carrying the bankroll, man. This is, I know I keep bringing this up, but like, it's just like so obvious right now that gambling is destroying the balance. I won't say destroying. It is, gambling's like doing this to the balance, you know, it's just constantly bringing it down, just like trying to hold us back. Where sports betting, investing seems to be bonuses or like going up. I feel like gambling's like the ball and chain on the balance. I mean, I don't know. I want to say that maybe like I know a lot of people will critique the way I play sometimes, whether I'm like super aggressive, whether I'm playing like way too safe with like big bets. But the whole purpose of like the way I've been playing recently with these losses, starting back from here on day 265, I'm copying my old strategies that did work before. Like these things did work, and I get they're not always going to work, but like when you see this, when you see that, like, you expect like something that's similar, right? We got like 2 losses in like 50 days almost, 3 losses in 50 days. And just doing this for 24 days, we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 losses in 20. So half the time frame of that, we've got 3 times the losses in half the time frame. So like, I don't know, it's just weird, man. But yeah, just talking out loud, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. It's just crazy that it's very difficult. I don't know if I'm getting super unlucky or if this is like how things are just like always kind of supposed to go type of thing. Like this, and it's such a short time frame. I get like over time you're gonna lose money gambling, but I feel like it's just been like really hitting hard recently. But yeah, that's just want to make a note of that. Like I said, I take my test in a week from when this video is posted. So once my exam's done, I'm gonna obviously try to rework some things, keep talking about that. But until then, I'm just trying to get through, copy some old strategies. But it's just crazy, man. I'm so surprised that it's just this bad. It's just crazy. I don't know what else to say. Kind of lost for words. I was hoping it'd be a little bit better. Like, I'm not saying we need to profit 1% every single day, but like, come on, like let's get a little bit of wins here, dude. Let's get a little bit of wins. Maybe the stop loss does kind of hurt us. Also, changing that is like the only variable that I did change since the beginning of like this whole repeat here. I'm doing a 2% stop loss, so maybe that does affect things a little bit. But I mean, still, even then, with the stop loss being 4%, that means like we would get a bunch of losses and like kind of chase that 1% still. So ideally you should get like a couple quick wins and be done. So like with the 4% stop loss, that gives you the opportunity to get a bunch of losses, play a lot more, get a bunch of losses, and then put some big bets to come back. That's like how these strategies I've been running work. So even then, like I guess it's kind of the same. Like you're still getting a lot of losses, but hoping to get that one win on a big bet size to come back. I don't know. Trying to think through it. I don't really have like the mental capacity right now to be cranking the numbers on video, on camera. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think out loud. But yeah, not terrible. We're still above $2,000. The past few episodes, we've been trying to get at least to 2,000. We've been stuck below that. So I'm happy with that. We ended above $2,000. I'll take that all day. Could be worse. Still moving up in the right direction. Very, very small, very tiny, but we still are moving in the right direction. We're just gonna keep letting sports betting doing its thing in the background, getting those bonuses while I can until we can rework some things. So, I think it'll work out. I think just give it some time. Like I said, I'm gonna rework some stuff. We'll figure it out. But that's my analysis. Hope you enjoyed my very analytical. This is like super just off the cuff, obviously. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my analysis. That's gonna be it for this one, though. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hope you learned something. Don't gamble. It's a losing game in the long run. There's some links in the description. Join the Discord server. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment with your thoughts and suggestions. I always like seeing you guys' thoughts, and I try to reply to every single comment. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode, and hopefully we'll get some wins. All right, peace.